Hi guys, it's Little Kansas Kitty and this is my weight loss surgery channel. I welcome you if this is your first time here. Warmest welcome. For those of you that are returning, thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming back and for your support and your cheer and your encouragement week after week. This is my 46-week post-op update. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018. I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6". I'm 39 years old and I am in maintenance. My personal maintenance range that I've given myself is 138 pounds to 145. Today I sit at 142, so I'm right in the middle of that range and I'm happy. I'm happy anywhere across that board. I did have my period this week and so saw some fluctuations and also I think some retaining of water. Also, I have been carb loading. I have a marathon coming up. Not purposely carb loading, but I have been. But I do have a marathon in 3 days. I'm going to Vermont in 3 days to run the Springfield, Vermont Marathon, which is 26.2 miles. I think it's okay that I've been eating carbs. I don't want my body to be weak going into this, and carbs definitely fuel your body. I've done some things well this week. I've also done some things that I probably can do better. And so things that I've done well this week, I've been hydrating really good. My runs have been really strong and really good, and I am tapering right now. So that means I'm just kind of starting to pull back with my mileage and begin to rest a little bit as I approach the big day on Wednesday, May 15th, right here. So I did have an episode last Sunday, so a week from today, a week ago, I had a lot of dairy and it affected me. As an RNY gastric bypass patient, you will find that often dairy is a culprit. And too much. You can have small doses of it, but I had ice cream and I didn't have my keto, protein, low sugar, low carb ice cream. I had straight up ice cream. And I had cheese that day and I had milk that day. And I think all of that impacted my tummy, my pouch, and I had diarrhea that night and that was no fun. So this whole going to the bathroom, dumping through my intestines is new to me. It's not something that I've really experienced through this entire time. So it's kind of different how your body reacts differently at different times to different foods. I was mad at myself. I was upset. I missed a run on Monday morning because I couldn't run because I was still through the night having diarrhea. It was a bad case of it. And we had moved our weekly speed run from Tuesday to Monday. And my girlfriends were out there running and I had to text them, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. And I felt really upset with myself that I was missing out on that one opportunity to where we really push ourselves for the week. So Tuesday morning, woke up and my friend was out of town and I thought, I've got to do this myself. I need to have a comeback. They ran yesterday and they did a 9-minute per mile average for the 8 miles. And I was like, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to. And so I went out my neighborhood. It was just me, my breathing. I had my music on. I was charging up the hills, very hilly out of my neighborhood. And I really took the declines of the hills to my advantage and just really picked up my pace. And I kept watching my watch and I kind of at points felt like an out-of-body experience. I was breathing super hard and I felt my legs really opening, my stride really opening up. But I would look at my watch and I would see eights on the watch. You know, at times on the inclines, it was probably close to 10s. And when I returned, I had an 8-minute, 55-second average for the 8 miles, and I was so proud. So proud that I hit those 8s. You know, I started really slow in this process, and just to feel my body getting stronger and stronger, It's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. So things that I could have done better this week, I could have definitely worked on my food. I think last week I reported and said, I'm gonna, hit this week hard and do awesome with my food, and I didn't. I mean, I did all day long. So I wake up, I usually do great with breakfast and lunch and snacks and everything. And those evening temptations hit me all the time, all the time. And I had carbs, and I'm not going to get too down on myself on having these carbs in the evenings, because I have felt really strong on my runs all week, and I think those carbs are really fueling my body, and I don't want to go into this marathon feeling weak. I want to feel strong, and that's how I feel. I feel hydrated, I feel strong right now. A couple beauty updates. So I did go back to my plastic surgeon's office, and I did get my kind of touch-ups on my Botox. I'm not doing that video quite yet because, again, each time you have Botox, you have to wait 2 weeks to see the full effects. I had a crease line here that they were working on, and so I did get that filled for free. And then also they had saved a little bit on my lip fillers, and so I went back and had that kind of just touched up just to try to perfect that. And so I will still be putting out a video on that. It probably will now be another 2 weeks out, just so I can get the perfect kind of end result from that. Also, I did go ahead and have my plastics consultation with the other surgeon. And so this one is out in Kansas. He's very well known for the Brazilian butt lift, which I can't get done. I'm not eligible for. And, I paid $50 for that consultation. And gone are the days, I feel like, where you can get free consults. When I had the whole mommy makeover about, I guess that was 7 years ago, 7+ years ago, consultations were free. And I went from plastic surgeon's office to plastic surgeon's office and had all my free consults. And I got to really drill down and decide who did I feel most comfortable with, where was a good price. And although I would want to do that again this time around, is interview a few different surgeons, it gets pricey if you're paying $50 a pop each time. But here is where I landed with all of that. So I had them look at a few different areas, specifically my booty region. And I honestly just overall walked away feeling defeated. I felt disappointed from that experience. So what that surgeon did say is they would use my existing incision lines where I had my tummy tuck 7 years ago that wraps to about here. They would use that area and then kind of cut in and make that kind of V area and pull down my skin, my loose skin from my back area, and then pull up the loose skin from the back area, and that would be the incision. There isn't much they can do in terms of fat transfer. There's no fat there, which is, it's strange to hear that, but they're going to do as much lipo as they can in the back area, but there just isn't enough for him to work with. And so in terms of fat transfer, to try to plump up that area, he said the most that he thinks he can get is 250 cc's. So you take 250 cc's and you're putting that in the buttock area, and that's not a lot because your body does absorb some of that. So a typical Brazilian butt lift, just for some comparison, they're taking fat from your body and putting it back in there, and they're putting it all over, he said, and they're going to use about anywhere from 200 to 800 cc's in both cheeks, in both areas. So to only be able to collect about 250 total to disperse back there, and for it to possibly be absorbed, it's not a whole lot. I'm not going to get much fullness. It's just going to be kind of smoothed out, basically. So let's just go over the numbers for out of curiosity's sakes. And that fat grafting of the gluteal and basically that posterior body lift is going to cost $10,946.37. Yep. I did have them look at my thighs. My inner thighs is my problem area that I have a lot of loose skin, and I am not really eligible for just the, I forgot what it's called, the inner thigh kind of area to cut that. I'm not really eligible just for that. I would need the entire medial thigh lift extended to get the maximum results, and that will cost $8,337. And while I was there, I was like, why not look at my arms too, you know? I mean, I'm building muscle, but I've got some skin, not too crazy concerned about it. But basically he said it's a fold that they create, and they cut pretty much all the way down to here. And that is called the brachioplasty, and that's going to cost $6,886. And out of those surgeries, none of them can be combined. And the reason is because he really doesn't do your arms with any other surgery, because you have to use your arms to lift yourself up out of bed. And if he's working on the lower region, you need your arms to get yourself out of bed. It's too risky to do the legs as well as the lower body. That's kind of two separate areas, front and back, and this surgeon will not combine them. I called several other surgeons in the area. They do not combine these procedures either. So if I did any of those, which I want to do the thighs and the booty area, I have to wait 3 months between each surgery. So those friends of mine out there that are going off to Mexico to get everything done all at once, it sure sounds appealing. It sounds appealing, but I know that the recovery time is long. Out of those 3 surgeries, the one that's most important to me that I would want to get is kind of that posterior lower body lift. And in terms of recovery time, it would take a week before I can sit on my bottom again, and between 4 to 6 weeks to return to regular running activity, and that would be a slow start. So with all the information I received, you know, I didn't feel great. I did not feel great walking out of there. As a matter of fact, I called a friend and was talking to a friend, and I said, I need a hug. I need a hug. And so I met them for some coffee afterwards, and I just felt really defeated. Like, there isn't a whole lot of hope for me to get what I want to get out of this, and I don't want to really spend, you know, over $10,000 just for it to be pulled up and smoothed out. Like, I want a booty. I want a booty. So anyway, kind of walking away from all of that. You know, the arms, it's not that big of a concern to me. The thighs, I don't want to have that long of recovery right now when I'm feeling so strong with my running, and I just am so passionate about my running. To take so many steps backwards, it took some time to get where I am. I don't know if it's really worth it to me, honestly. I'm going to be 40 years old next year, and overall it's like, maybe I'm just get to the point where I accept me for me. And you know, when I find someone for me in my life again, they're gonna accept me for what's inside here and not what's on the outside. And so I know I feel comfortable in clothes, and it's a mental thing, definitely a mental thing. So it's some things I need to think about. At this point, walking away from it, no. I wasn't like, okay, here's my deposit, let's book surgery, woohoo, I'm so excited. And I wasn't like, didn't get the feels from the surgeon that was like, we can get some amazing results for you. You know, like I didn't really get that. I was like, well, we can do this, we can do that, and the max that we can push in is the 250 cc's. And another thing, back to the cc's, when I had my breast lift and augmentation, I had 450 cc's put in each side. So that just shows you 250 is nothing for such a big area. So anyway, I think that's about that. I might come back to plastics one day, but at this point, it's not something I'm considering at this point right now in my life. Marathon. So we've got the marathon this week. I'm so excited, and not only excited about being able to say I'm running my 7th full marathon in a 7th state, but I'm going with a couple of my girlfriends. We are super excited just to have this girls trip to go to Springfield, Vermont, and it is the weirdest route, the weirdest course. We are actually doing a 3.3 mile loop 8 times, and the loop is actually out and back, and it's on kind of a trail area. And so basically we're doing that 16 times. Boom, 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 over and over and over. And so if we get separated, we'll have plenty of opportunities to give each other high fives. It's a tiny race. There's 80 registered, and it's in a small little town of like population of 9,000. And so we are actually flying into Boston, renting a car, driving 2.5 hours to get to Springfield, Vermont, running the marathon the next day, then jumping back in the car and driving to the Hamptons, and gonna go to the Hamptons and go to the beach. And we may not have real warm beach weather, but we sure as heck are gonna have a great girls trip. Stay there for the day, stay there for most of the next day, and then head on back. So it's gonna be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, quick trip, quick girls trip. I'm really excited about that, and really happy to have the strength and the body and the physical health to be able to go run that. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. If you have little ones, give them an extra little hug and tell them I love you, and tell them that the only reason you're a mother is because of them. For those of you that still have mothers in your life, know how very special that is. Pick up the phone and give them a call, or stop by and swing by and say hello if you can. If you don't have a mother, somebody out there wants to hear it from you. So hoping you have a beautiful day today and a lovely week ahead. Till next time.